Hey, I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee, and you are watching Open. It's that live interactive program that brings the Bronx, New York City straight to your TV set. All you have to do is stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Leading things off, we recently had the pleasure of speaking with a psychotherapist, a licensed social worker, community leader, and the founder of LifeSkills Counseling Services. She joined us to highlight the work that her organization is doing to help parents raise emotionally resilient youth. Let's take a look back at our sit down with Mariana Lopez. Mariana, welcome.
Good morning, Dr. Bob. Thank you very much for having me today.
Yeah.
I'm really grateful for this opportunity to talk about mental health and parenting that are very important to our families today.
Yeah. There's a lot involved, and people are reluctant to speaking about it because of that stigma situation. But what are the most common emotional and behavioral challenges you see in our children today?
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of changes. Like, for example, today, children are dealing more with stress than ever. I'm seeing a lot of anxiety, depression, low frustration tolerance, short attention span, emotional outbursts, and difficulty managing, big feelings or difficult feelings.
Yeah.
Many kids are overstimulated, spending a lot of time on their devices. They have less face-to-face interaction, and I've seen that they feel a lot of pressure from school, a lot of pressure from social environments, a lot of pressure from social media. When children don't have the skills to express their emotions with words, they often you'll see those behaviors coming
Yeah.
out, and it's very difficult for them to manage those feelings when they don't have the proper guidance.
Yeah, so this information age is helping to create a lot of stress uh, for our youngsters. What's the most, where is it coming from mostly, do you think? Most of the stress that our youngsters are dealing with?
I feel that a lot is coming from the social media
Social
pressure
media.
that they have.
Yeah,
They're comparing themselves with others. They've been criticized, or they have a lot of peer pressure. So that's what I've noticed. And they have difficulties connecting with their parents or
yeah,
having someone to talk to.
yeah, yeah. And they get a lot of this from school, right?
Yes, a lot of times from school, a lot of times from not having this relationship with their parents. With not a lot of times they have difficulties bonding with their parents as well. Sometimes they have to, I've noticed that they also have to develop like two kind of personalities, like one to deal with their friends at school,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and then another one to deal with their parents at home.
Yeah, I mean, that seems to be kind of normal. That's what we all, even the language when we went outside of the home, what's up? We talk, but when you get home, hey mom, so yeah,
Yes.
that's kind of normal. That's been happening for generations. But what's the difference between discipline and punishment?
Yeah, I think that discipline is there to kind of make the child feel uncomfortable or even humiliate the child, right? Punishing is just, it's not a word that I like, but I still think that parents still punish their children for their behaviors. And I think the purpose behind that is to make the child, make their kids feel bad about themselves, right? And
Yeah,
discipline is something different. Discipline implies like teaching their children, giving them an opportunity for them to see what they did wrong so they can do something different,
yeah,
right? Discipline means like giving them the information, giving them the right tools so they can fix their problems, so they can have some type of self control. They can develop responsibility and make better choices.
yeah. They both seem to create the awareness that hey, you did something wrong. But one is saying hey, and the other one is saying hey, you can do better than this. You know,
Yeah, I
you
always
know
feel
right
like
from wrong. You know.
when you punish the children, right? they're always going to feel humiliated, and they're not
Yeah.
going to learn a lesson after that,
Yeah.
because you're not telling them what is the reason that you're giving them these consequences, right? And it's always good to give them consequences, and also to talk about, to have clear rules at home. So if they are aware of the rules and the values
Yeah.
that they have it at home, so they're going to anticipate their behaviors. Like they're going to be like, no, this is not expected at my
Yeah.
home. My parents are not going to tolerate this. So they already know, when they already have clear boundaries at home,
Yeah.
right? So you cannot expect your child to behave in a certain way when you're not giving them you're not explaining them the rules.
That's right. You know right from wrong. You know right from wrong. And sometimes you don't have to yell at them, right? Parents can set boundaries without yelling. All I
Yes,
had to
of
do is,
course. We can
all,
definitely set boundaries without yelling.
yeah,
We need to talk to them. Like I said, every household should have clear rules and clear roles
yeah,
also. Like you as a parent, everyone has a different role. The father has a role, the mom has a role, and every child and every family member should have a clear role. And we should all discuss about the rules of the house, right? So once that is well defined, so everybody knows the boundaries, right? So once you have those boundaries well defined and you're following very consistent, so everybody knows the rules, right? You said, in this house, we don't tolerate heating. In this house, everybody cleans their share spaces. And this house, we go to sleep at certain time.
yeah.
That's very important to have like those clear rules.
Yeah, and you have to set them in that house because when they get out there and you maybe go to a restaurant with the youngsters and the kid wants to, present himself on the floor with a temper tantrum and all of that, and, what do you do in that case?
I always
It
say,
doesn't say that you didn't discipline them in the home, does it? Or what you did in the home is going to come out into the restaurant?
yeah, a lot of times what I wanted to do with parents is just educate them. They need to know like the stage of the development. They need to understand what happens
Yeah.
when a child's 2 or 3. A lot of kids, like for example, at age of 2 and 3, they throw tantrums, like, and it's a normal development. It's a normal behavior at that time, right? They do that because they cannot express, they don't have the language to express, so they're just going to throw tantrums, right? But we need to understand, why is this child throwing tantrums? We need to
Yeah.
understand also the developmental stages. So that's why it's so important to educate the parents. It's very important for the parents to understand this,
Uh-huh.
and then they can manage better, those behaviors.
Yeah.
And in the case a child is throwing a tantrum, I always say, please don't do anything. Just, unless the child is in danger, right? Unless you see blood, then you can do an intervention. Let them cool down. Let them just give them the moment, give them a moment, and just tell them, I'm here, But the most important thing for the parents is just to stay calm. You don't do an intervention when the child is overwhelmed.
Yeah.
It's They're not going to understand. Just give them a space first, and then when the child's calm, and then you talk, and then you go to their level, you make eye contact, and you just tell them, what do you want from them?
Yeah. Good idea. I mean, I can remember throwing a temper tantrum way back when I was a kid. I wanted something out of a vending machine, and my father said, "You can't have that. That's not for you." I said, "No, I want it." Of course, I threw myself on the floor and the whole thing. So people say, I mean, it's a normal thing to do, I guess.
Yeah, it all depends on the age, right?
Yeah,
When
yeah,
we see this like in about like 6, 7, or 8 throwing tantrums, then we might think it's something else, right? And then we might have to go through an evaluation to see what's going on with the child. They might have some type of developmental disabilities,
uh,
or they might have some mental health issues. Yeah.
no, I just saw a comb in the vending machine that didn't fit through my hair, but I wanted that comb. But anyway, that was that back then. So, what should families seek When should families seek professional help, like mental health support for a child?
Yeah, I think it's important to see, when you see this the child, it's not I guess behaving in different aspects, right? It's
Hmm.
having challenges and with their functioning, like for example in the school, at home, with their friends, and you see that the behavior is just across the board,
Hmm.
and so then it might be a time for you to seek for mental health evaluation. And if you see that the child is withdrawn, it's not engaging with his friends, does not want to go out, and you see a lot of depression, sadness, a lot of anxiety, inability to control their impulses. Like, so I think that will be a good time for
Yeah.
them, for the parents to seek mental health
But
services.
like back in the day, they used to give them the pela. They said not too much anymore now. Even with my kids growing up, I gave them that look. That's not you. You know right from wrong. And once I give them that look, they know I don't have to hit them. I don't have to spare the rod, so to speak. But that's what they did back in the day. But if you spare the rod today, then you could be in trouble.
Yeah, you can get in trouble, yes. And things have changed. Like our
Uh,
program teaches to the parents like zero tolerance to any type of corporal punishment,
yeah.
right? So that's why we help them with techniques. We help them with different discipline. We call nurturing parenting,
Uh-huh.
which is like helping the parents to identify different ways to communicate with children
Yeah.
and given teaching them a different way, different discipline. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, you have all the answers, and a lot of people they want to seek your help because I mean, there are people with situations that they need a correction for, so they're going to reach out to a person like you. Where can they go to find out more about you? Do you have a website or social media?
Yeah, we do have I have my social media. It's Mariana Lopez
I'll
official.
put it on. Okay.
Yeah, that's my Instagram, Mariana Lopez that official. And they can also look us at LifeSkillsServices.com.
There you go, Mariana Lopez, LCSW-R. And she's a psychotherapist and founder, LifeSkills Counseling Services, and a trainer and facilitator, Nurturing Parenting Program. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you for
Okay.
having me.
And big shout out to Mariana Lopez and our organization, LifeSkills Counseling Services. We wish you continued success in the work that you are doing. And all the best to you. And we hope that you can just come back on the show again in the future. You're always welcome. All right. And so we'll take a quick break right here. Don't go anywhere. Kick off your shoes. Keep them off. We'll be back with more Open next.